My dad got me a computer on my 13th birthday. Or no, for Christmas when I was 13. Okay. Literally. And then I just sat on my computer forever since. I stopped going to Boy Scouts and just played with things on the computer. So. People ask me for things since I manage infrastructure. If they need any like databases or servers or networking changes, they'll make a task and then I complete that task. Right now that is generally what I do. I also write utility programs for all of the developers. I enjoy providing everyone on the team with the tools they need to deploy what they've made. Because I used to write software, and we had an issue where nobody could really deploy our software fast enough for us. So I got fed up with it, and I learned how to do it myself, and then I made that my job. Mm-hmm. What's cool about the IT field, at least in programming in general, is diversity amongst how people approach problems is so important. So for me, curiosity and an enjoyment of problem solving is really the two big ones, but a lot of people have different points of view. Personally, I think those two are probably the strongest. But if you don't enjoy or aren't passionate about what you're making, or you don't care, then most of the time you'll burn out, and burnout sucks. So, yes, if you are always learning, you will be stable.
Okay.
If you like, oh, I'm good at this, or something like, this is what I like to do, and I'm not going to ever like go further, then you're going to stagnate.
Okay.
A lot of times people will not learn the new versions of a language they're using, or learn new features of a language they're using, and all of a sudden a new person comes in and goes like, you could have done this whole section with a new library function, and it's like, okay. Inside of large cities, it's different, but the average or the median entry-level income, I believe, is somewhere around 65 to 70. No, yeah, for interns, and then position is like 75 to 90 for like once you have like your first couple years of experience, and then beyond that, if you live in a large city like San Francisco, you can make upwards of $160,000 a year, or if you're in LA or even around here, and then it just probably caps out at like 200 and something for principal. It can do large swings like you see in Airbnb and Uber, where it completely revolutionizes, like, or Lyft now, we don't want to talk about Uber, revolutionizes like a whole industry, or even like robotics, completely changing how like automation in manufacturing takes place. So I say that it has a huge impact on the economy. It's hard. You have to make sure that you either go to conferences, local conferences, keep up to date with like releases on things that you're doing or using, because if you don't know what's out there or what tools people have made, sometimes you won't attempt to solve a problem because it's too large or requires too many resources. Get a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino. Learn processing, or
convince your daughter to actually do it.
Or if you like making websites, that's what I started with. Like Khan Academy has a good course with uses like JavaScript or processing about making games. But if you're just like naturally curious, just research something that you find fascinating. Like, how does the internet work? If you start researching how does the internet work, you'll be able to understand a lot of the core concepts of programming. Like you'll understand what an RFC is, request for comment, and how there's protocols that people have defined with these requests for comments. So they put out a question and people comment and say, yeah, I think this looks good, and it gets ratified as a standard. So and that's like that right there, RFCs takes you way back to the core of like technology in general. How does this work? Just keep asking yourself until there's no more questions.